Have you all ever wondered what the difference is between us and air dog? You know what? You look at a photo of an air dog, okay? You look at it, then you look at the photo of a FASS. There's reasons for the size difference. Here's one reason, okay? We use basically the almost same size motor when we use 165 gallons or less at 20 PSI or less. We use basically the same size motor. Different specs, okay? We have more torque in our motor, things like that. That's a 1,000,000-mile motor. But when you go to a high pressure unit, they use the same size motor here. And when we're over 165 gallons an hour or over 20 PSI, we are not the same. Look at that. I'm matching up the housing. Look at that. It's a lot higher torque motor to get still that 1,000,000-mile life and have the flow rate. Because when we put our flow rate on our system, that's at pressure on diesel fuel. Not the same here. Jeremy, show them the difference between us and them on fuel filtration.
So right off the bat, you can see that our filters are over 2 times larger. This is a 2-micron absolute rated filter with 25 gallon per minute flow rating. So that's over 1,500 gallon per hour. The competition is using a low flow, drainable cellulose element that's not even rated for their smallest capacity. So what the net result is about half of the water that goes through it ends up going through your fuel system. And we're removing the particulates down to 2-micron absolute.
And that's a microglass filter element. And here's the other thing. If this one ever reaches capacity of water collection, it will shut down the fuel system before it shuts it down mechanically. That's a great thing. The other difference here is this is 3/8-inch plumbing. This is 1/2-inch plumbing. You notice how they don't have the fuel manifold here for this virtually pure fuel to go to the engine? They don't have that. The problem with that is when you have fuel flow going to the engine, you want the smoothest, most direct path right to the injection pump. What happens is after they separate the air out, it goes up to a draw tube and T-bones, creates eddy currents, okay? While it's creating those eddy currents, it's building vapor. Then it goes over to a 90-degree, same thing. So it has 2 passages that creates vapor again and then goes out to the engine.
Now, let's move on to our wire harness, right? Now they did finally start doing a 12-gauge wire harness with their system, but we go beyond that, right? Pick our harness up, it's got weight to it. That's because we are using 10-gauge wiring along with the weather pack connector that is rated for 40 amps plus continuously, right? What that means for you though, that's going to minimize or eliminate the voltage drop to our motors to ensure that 1,000,000-mile service life.
Actually lets them run a little cooler, doesn't it?
It does, it does.
I'm kind of proud that they're actually listening to us because they used to use Deutsch connectors up until just recently because this is the first one I've seen with the weather pack. They are spade connectors, but they are much smaller. Okay, so their wire harness is smaller, their spade connectors are smaller. That's some of the big things right there. With all these changes, some of them are small, some of them are big, but when you put a bunch of small details together, you paint a great big picture.
Now, if you not only want to improve the performance, efficiency, but also want to improve the life of your fuel injection system by improving the filtration over your OEM system, then look no further than FASS Fuel Systems. Now, of course, more information can be found on our website, fassride.com.
Or give us a call.